we all kind of crave that clarity, right? And purpose, that sense of resilience when things get tough.
Absolutely. That feeling of being grounded, especially these days.
Exactly. Well, today we're actually diving into how one of history's, most powerful figures managed it.
Marcus Aurelius.
The man himself, Roman emperor, Stoic philosopher. And he somehow found that clarity even with, an empire to run.
Which is quite something. It's a really profound look into how, ancient wisdom can directly inform our modern lives.
Yeah.
Aurelius wasn't just thinking about this stuff. He was actively forging his character day by day.
Right. So our mission with this deep dive is to explore how his morning routine, like his structured mornings, were just crucial for that resilience and focus. And we want to pull out some valuable, actionable lessons from what he did, things you can maybe use to build a more intentional, maybe more fulfilling day.
And we have some good sources that really detail these Stoic mornings, the principles behind them.
We do. And I have to say, I'm genuinely curious. I mean, how did a guy with the weight of the Roman Empire on his shoulders find that kind of inner calm? And what can we really learn from it today?
Well, what's truly fascinating is that Stoicism, the whole philosophy Aurelius lived by, it gives you this timeless, incredibly practical toolkit.
A toolkit?
Yeah, for managing stress, building inner strength. It's not just abstract ideas, it's a framework for living. That's why it still resonates, I think.
Okay, so before we get into the actual mornings, maybe for folks who know the name but haven't gone deep, what is Stoicism at its heart?
Right. Well, at its core, Stoicism is this ancient philosophy. It really emphasizes rationality, virtue, and living in harmony with nature, with how things actually are.
Okay.
And it's fundamentally about understanding and really distinguishing between what you can control.
Like your own thoughts, your reactions.
Exactly. Your judgments, your impulses, your desires, things internal to you.
Yeah.
And then distinguishing that from what you cannot control.
Which is pretty much everything else.
A lot of it, yeah. External events, other people's actions, even, your own body's health in the long run. That core idea, sometimes called the dichotomy of control, it's just central to finding any kind of Stoic peace.
Wow. Just making that distinction feels,
Yeah.
it feels huge, especially now. So what are the key virtues then that come from that?
Well, the Stoics believed virtue is the highest good, actually the only true good. And it's something totally within our control.
Okay, black white.
So this includes wisdom, basically, knowing what truly matters, making sound judgments, self-control, which is mastering your emotions and desires, not being ruled by them, courage, facing difficulties with integrity, and justice, treating others fairly. These principles were absolutely fundamental for Marcus Aurelius.
You can see how they would be.
Totally. They guided him through just immense challenges, plagues, wars, betrayal, you name it. They helped him keep his focus on his inner state, his own actions, while accepting the things he couldn't change.
It really explains why he'd invest so much in his mornings then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about getting stuff done.
Not at all. It's about shaping the whole fabric of your day before it even really starts.
Which brings us nicely to the power of morning routines in general.
Precisely. Morning routines are, I think, profoundly crucial for personal development because they genuinely set the tone for the entire day.
How so?
Well, starting with intention, instead of just reacting to emails or news or whatever, it can dramatically improve your psychological well-being. It's a proactive step. It reduces anxiety, promotes a more positive mindset.
Okay, so it feels better, but are there more tangible benefits, things our sources point to?
Oh yeah. When you consistently engage in purposeful activities first thing, you cultivate this sense of control and direction. It's real, and that can carry through the whole day. A structured routine is often linked to, increased productivity, better focus. And here's the Stoic connection again. If you deliberately build in elements like reflection or mindfulness into that routine, you're actively cultivating a resilient mindset.
So you're training yourself.
Exactly. Training yourself to embrace challenges, stay composed when things go sideways, rather than just getting swept away.
Okay, let's get into it. How did Marcus Aurelius actually do this? First up, meditation and reflection. Now, this wasn't just zoning out, was it?
Not at all, no. For Aurelius, meditation, reflection, these were pivotal. Tools for mental clarity, emotional balance. He used quiet contemplation, yes, but very actively. He's applying that dichotomy of control in real time, thinking, okay, what's mine to influence here? What do I just have to accept? This daily practice gave him a focused mind. helped him approach the day calmly, deliberately.
And the reflection part.
Equally vital, it was this rigorous process of examining his own thoughts, his actions from the day before maybe, looking for biases, errors in judgment, and really reinforcing his commitment to those virtues we talked about.
So he wasn't just vaguely thinking, be good. He was asking himself pre-specific questions.
Exactly, yeah. Things like, okay, what is actually within my control right now and what isn't? Or how can I respond to this potential challenge with grace, with reason, instead of just reacting emotionally? These kinds of practices grounded him. They reinforced his Stoic principles constantly, helping him navigate, ruling an empire. And they can absolutely do the same for you, help you stay grounded, aligned with your values.
That leads perfectly into the next practice, setting intentions for the day. Sounds like it really builds on that reflection.
It does, absolutely. Aurelius really understood how important it was to set daily intentions that were aligned with Stoic values.
So wisdom, courage.
Wisdom, courage, justice, self-control, yeah. Each morning, he'd consciously think about goals related to those. It wasn't just a to-do list in the modern sense.
More like a how-to-be list.
Kind of, yeah. It was creating this clear philosophical framework, a roadmap for his actions and decisions throughout the day, making sure his rational faculty, his will, what the Stoics called prohairesis, was aimed virtuously.
I can really see how that elevates daily actions, makes them more meaningful. How can we bring that kind of intention into our own, maybe slightly less imperial lives?
Well, adopting this practice, even in a small way, can be genuinely transformative for your personal growth. Just taking a few moments each morning to explicitly set intentions tied to your core values, whatever they may be. It cultivates mindfulness. It ensures your actions become more deliberate choices, not just automatic reactions. And that leads to, greater fulfillment, more resilience, even when things inevitably go wrong.
And then there's gratitude. We hear a lot about that now, but clearly it's not new. An ancient emperor was practicing it. Seems powerful, especially given his pressures.
Oh, it was vital for him. Gratitude was key to fostering a positive mindset, enhancing his resilience. And he wasn't just grateful for the big things.
What sort of things?
Simple things, profound things, the beauty of nature around him, the support of people he loved. But also, crucially, he expressed gratitude for the chance to learn from adversity itself.
Wow, okay. That's next level. Grateful for the hard stuff.
Yes. It ties into that profound Stoic acceptance, often called amor fati, the love of one's fate. It meant he didn't just put up with challenges, he tried to genuinely embrace them as necessary for growth. Part of the bigger picture,
So it's not just a count your blessings exercise, it's a deep philosophical stance. Acceptance and strength.
Precisely. Incorporating gratitude, especially that deeper kind, can radically shift your perspective. It moves you away from feeling like a victim of circumstance.
Towards agency.
Towards agency, exactly. It boosts your mood, yes, but more importantly, it empowers you to face the day with renewed strength, grounded in what truly matters, even when things are incredibly difficult.
Okay, shifting gears a bit to something very physical. Exercise and well-being. Easy to forget, emperors needed move too, especially one focused on self-control.
Indeed. And physical exercise was essential for Aurelius. But again, not just for fitness in the way we might think of it today.
How so?
It was deeply tied to his mental and emotional health, really as a form of discipline. It strengthened his body, sure, but maybe more importantly, it enhanced his resilience and focus.
How did exercise do that?
By building willpower. By forcing him to overcome physical discomfort or, the desire for ease. It helped him tackle the relentless demands of leadership with more clarity, more vigor. He valued things like walking, wrestling, martial arts activities, emphasizing discipline, self-control. It fostered that vital mind-body connection that's so Stoic.
So it wasn't just about being physically strong. It was almost a training ground against becoming soft. Part of his philosophical practice.
You could definitely see it that way, yeah. A battle against indulgence. So for us, that means prioritizing physical exercise, whatever works for you. Jogging, yoga, lifting weights. It brings benefits way beyond just mood or energy. It's a chance to practice self-mastery, cultivate discipline, build confidence in facing challenges. You can turn each workout into a small victory over resistance, over that desire to just take it easy.
And finally, something may be expected for a philosopher king. Reading and learning.
Absolutely integral to his routine, profoundly influenced his thinking, his actions. Just engaging with philosophical texts deepened his grasp of Stoicism, gave him mental models to work with.
Who was he reading?
He famously turned to Epictetus, whose teachings on that dichotomy of control really shaped him. And figures like Socrates, he found wisdom there that guided his decisions, helped him stay steadfast.
So, for someone listening who wants to dive deeper into Stoicism themselves, building on this idea of continuous learning, what would you suggest?
Well, embracing lifelong learning is definitely key in Stoicism. It's not just about accumulating knowledge, it's about refining your character continuously.
Right.
So I highly recommend starting with Meditations by Marcus Aurelius himself, obviously. Also, The Enchiridion by Epictetus. It's incredibly short, practical, punchy. Or Seneca's Letters from a Stoic. These books offer just invaluable insights. Reading them feels like you're in conversation with these incredible minds, and that can really inspire your own growth and resilience.
This all seems to build towards a crucial point. Embracing challenges with that Stoic mindset. It feels like all these morning practices we've talked about, they're designed to build this exact capacity.
They absolutely are. That's the payoff, in a way. Aurelius approached each day not just planning for things to go well, but actively preparing to face challenges with courage, with resilience.
How did he view challenges?
He saw adversity as inevitable, even necessary, a part of life. And he believed that how we choose to respond to it is what defines our character. There's this practice, premeditatio malorum.
The premeditation of evils, right?
That's it. It involved mentally rehearsing potential obstacles each morning, not to be gloomy or anxious.
Okay, important distinction.
Very. It wasn't about dwelling on the negative. It was about cultivating a mindset that sees difficulties not as, terrible misfortunes, but as opportunities. Opportunities to apply virtue, opportunities for growth.
That sounds simple, maybe mentally rehearse obstacles. But how would that actually work when, say, a real crisis hit? Leading an empire must have had a few. And how can we apply that today beyond just telling ourselves to think positive?
Right. It's about the active reframing. So imagine a crisis hits, maybe a military defeat. Instead of panicking, that morning's mental rehearsal would kick in. He could immediately ask, okay, what here is truly within my control?
My judgment, my effort.
My judgment, my effort, my response, exactly. What's external? Well, the outcome of that specific battle, the enemy's actions. That clarity allowed him to focus his energy where it mattered, on strategy, leadership, rallying his troops, rather than being paralyzed by what he couldn't change.
Okay, so for us,
it means actively using strategies like, first, challenging those negative automatic thoughts. Ask yourself, is this really in my control? What part is? Practicing mindfulness helps you stay present, not get carried away by what-ifs, and setting realistic, Stoic-aligned goals for your response. That shift in mindset is key. It transforms obstacles from setbacks into, lessons, training exercises almost.
And the ultimate outcome, if you consistently apply this philosophy.
By embracing challenges like that, with an open heart, a determined spirit, you develop more than just resilience. You build this profound inner strength, adaptability. It leads to a more fulfilling, more empowered life, genuinely. One where you feel like the architect of your inner world, no matter what's happening outside.
Wow. Okay, so let's try and wrap this deep dive up. We've journeyed through Marcus Aurelius' Stoic mornings, looked at how meditation and reflection brought clarity, especially using that dichotomy of control.
The power of setting intentions aligned with virtues like wisdom and courage.
Right. And the transformative role of gratitude, especially the amor fati, loving your fate idea.
And the vital link between physical exercise and building willpower, that discipline.
Plus the huge value of reading, of lifelong learning for refining your character.
Yeah, by understanding these, and more importantly, trying to implement them not just as habits, but as real philosophical tools, you genuinely can build deep resilience and understand yourself better. We really hope you explore these Stoic principles, maybe make them a deliberate part of your own routine.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to carry forward. When you consistently cultivate these internal practices, you're not just, getting through the day. You're actively shaping your inner world. You're building your most resilient, most purposeful self, creating this kind of inner fortress that can stand firm, really, no matter what life throws your way.